Hundreds of years of history sitting beneath the waters of Lake Okeechobee, now revealed during this year's drought.
Fearing looters, the locations of the newly found relics have been kept under wraps until now. News 12's Chuck Weber and photojournalist Dave Walker are the first TV crew to get a look, and they take us to the big lake.
A ride by airboat, a tromp across muck. Boots Boyer has plenty to show us.
This is prehistoric pottery. You can see it's got kind of a brim on it there. It's a conch shell made into a tool.
Finds like these are turning up on the shores of Lake Okeechobee since the water started plummeting toward record low levels.
Arrowheads, spearheads, the spearheads for spearing alligators.
And we can thank Boyer. Another spin in his airboat takes us to where the discoveries began. Normally, the lake covers the roots of these trees. Boyer was in here taking pictures, taking advantage of the low lake level. Imagine his surprise when he came across this. It's a motor with a flywheel. Surrounding it, the wooden frame of an old catfishing boat.
I mean, the Indians were the first people, but after the Indians, you had the catfishing industry. And then after that, you had the farming.
And Boyer and archaeologists are finding evidence of each period. From 100 plus years ago, 2 stacks of a steamship, possibly strewn across the lake by a hurricane.
You got copper nails, so...
A piece of a sailing vessel, likely 150 years old.
This is the safest spot for it right now because that's why it's been here for so long. It's preserved in the water.
Boyer says he has a whole new outlook on life.
We're just here to respect, because you're talking 4,000 years of history just right here. And it makes me appreciate every breath I take.
On the south end of Lake Okeechobee, Chuck Weber, WPEC News 12.
Many items will simply stay where they are and be covered up again when the lake rises. Boots Boyer expects archaeologists will remove hundreds of pieces, which he hopes can stay in the glades.
Well, Rick, firefighters here in Martin County remain on guard this noontime, and you can see why. Remnants of this brush fire continue to burn, bright embers, puffs of smoke, and residents on alert. In the dark of night, light, fire, and action.
We've been out here all night, driving around, doing recon, making sure that nothing's flaring up.
Flare-ups a concern, keeping crews on alert with some spots still smoldering. Pockets and pieces continue to burn early Thursday morning after a 90-acre brush fire scorched the earth here in Stuart.
It's satisfaction that it was under control, but I look back and it could have been very dangerous.
Fire officials were worried about the danger that high winds could pose. They kept a close eye on hotspots throughout the morning and kept residents relatively calm.
You ain't kidding, from the bottom of my heart, saving all the lives that they did. Without them, you don't know what to do.
What to do? Watch, wait, and see, and warn residents that a single cigarette could spark enough to risk lives and cause harm to homes and to humans.
We were very fortunate that no injuries and, no major property damage, and next time we may not be so lucky.
Officials say they were able to track down the cause of this fire because a witness actually came forward, said they saw someone toss a cigarette onto the dry land, which sparked the blaze. Officials also want to remind folks out there that is a misdemeanor in the state of Florida, punishable under the law, tossing a cigarette onto dry land in these conditions. That's according to the folks over at the Division of Forestry. Reporting live in Stuart, Lindsay Cohen, CBS 12 News.
Live in Fort Pierce, Alex.
And Rick and Claudia, the flood levels here in this Fort Pierce neighborhood have been falling steadily, about a foot since we arrived here at 4 a.m. this morning, but still slow going, believe it or not. And we actually had a chance to go through this neighborhood earlier this morning, take a look at what we found. In the wake of Tropical Storm Faye, movement in and around this Fort Pierce neighborhood near 25th Street and Bell Avenue was virtually non-existent. Just walking up the street makes you feel like if you're trudging through the Amazon jungle, and I can only imagine the desperation of people that only have cars to get out of their driveways, and they can't do so because of obviously how deep the water really is. In some parts, the water went up almost 3 feet high. And for the Kreiser family, there was no saving the first floor of their almost 30-year-old home.
Well, the insurance adjuster won't come because he said, I will not walk where there's contaminated water. We're walking in it every day.
The water is filled with bacteria, not to mention possible snakes and perhaps even alligators that have spilled into the neighborhood from nearby flooded canals and creeks.
Ooh, it smells like a fish house.
It's hard to look at it because he said all the walls have to be ripped out, the cabinets have to be ripped out. I don't know. We aren't going to be able to live in this house.
But the loss of property is only compounded by an inability to move around. For the folks here and in nearby communities, heavy floods mean not being able to do things many of us take for granted.
Look around. It's 2 days now and nobody can get out of their house. So there's people that can't get diapers, stuff like that. And we're just waiting for the water to go down, you know? There's nothing we really can do at this point.
The last time floods like this ravaged Fort Pierce was back in 1985. Residents here thought it would never happen again. But even with the devastation, they're determined to clean up.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine because we're surviving. This is our home. We're not leaving.
And right here, if you could see, this is where the actual flood level line, you could see there, it was at that level earlier this morning. It is dropping steadily, but we're being told that there's going to be more rain headed this way in about an hour. And again, until the ponds and the creeks around this neighborhood start receding, this water is not going to go anywhere. So hopefully these people will get some relief in the next couple of days. Live in Fort Pierce, I'm Alex Akeda. Now back to you guys.
Stars and stripes.
We restore vintage aircraft.
It takes on a whole new meaning.
It's really a fantastic experience.
The experience, a 60-year-old fighter plane. The education across America.
Well, there are no substitutions. This is an actual World War II airplane, and today we're going to use this little camera to take you on board.
It's part of the mission of History Flights.
That's a beautiful morning, isn't it?
The nonprofit flies the 50 states to raise money and awareness.
If you look out the right side of the camera, we're going to make a right turn and descend down along the beach, okay?
The funds help to locate the 78,000 servicemen still missing in action from the Second World War.
It's kind of like time travel, really, because you're able to interact with the families of the people that are still missing, and they're still looking for them today.
We're going to turn upside down and come right side up.
Today, we got a first-hand look at the rolls and the turns and the loops.
Wow.
After the adventure, the founder hopes everyone is on board.
Alrighty, we're going to do a loop now.
With a small glimpse and a contribution towards history.
You're connecting a living part of America and a part of America's World War II history, so it is a remarkable experience.
The experience is in town this weekend.
Yeah, we pulled about 2.5, 3 days there, so we roughly tripled your body weight.
For folks young and old. In Lantana, Lindsay Cohen, CBS 12 News.
The following takes place just after midnight on Black Friday.
So bored of Best Buy.
I got here about 10:30.
Since this morning.
9:30 a.m. It's about 5. I'm actually here for the laptop.
Laptop.
A laptop or laptops.
Look into your heart and you'll find love, love. This is the only way I can afford to buy electronics.
We need people out there spending the money.
There is no line. Everybody's still sleeping. It's cold.
So we were really expecting there to be a lot more people here.
What's up with that?
To buy a couple TVs.
For GPS systems?
GPS, mainly. We wanted to each one of us were going to pick one up, actually.
I forgot to get the folding chair out the house, and I'm not going to go back because somebody else might come, so the lady said we could use the cart, so I just sat on it.
We had anybody out here yet?
A lot more people last year, though, than this year.
Now y'all know I got an Ace of Spades.
Getting a TV and some DVDs.
I'm trying to get a laptop. I think it's the economy. A lot of people don't have a lot of money and the internet deals, so a lot of people just bought it on the internet and stay home.
That's just something we do now, Thanksgiving, nothing else to do.